All right, everybody. What we're going to go over today is some troubleshooting drills to help you with the initial roll to elbow in the Turkish get-up. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to lay flat. Now I'm going to be demoing as if I'm going to be doing a right-sided get-up, whatever hand would be holding the kettlebell. The first thing we need to do is get into a position where we're going to be at about a 45-degree angle with the left leg and the left hand. Now, we want to make sure that on the get-up, we just don't use our abdominals. I see a lot of people trying to crunch up. They try to bring their shoulders towards their hips, and when they do that, they're not actually rolling onto their side. The left leg pops up. So the first thing we're going to do is drive through the heel, and all we're going to do is roll over and extend through the hip. I want you to kind of cramp that glute a little bit and try to push yourself onto your left side. Boom. Again, drive through. And now you'll notice everything's facing this way. My knee is not in a valgus position because my hips are aligned. So that's the first drill. Drive through. Second drill we're going to do is we're going to sort of roll on this axis, and I'm going to make a straight line from my left ankle to my knee to my hip, all the way up through elbow and my wrist. Now we're going to roll onto my side. And my right leg is the driver for this. Once you do a few of those and get it, we'll take that left arm, place it at a 45-degree angle. We're going to initiate the roll through the hip, and then we're going to drive up through the left elbow into the elbow position, all right? And then come back down. So remember, drive through the leg, and then come right out. Give it a try, let me know what you think. Now what we're going to talk about right now is shoulder packing. I've actually done a separate blog on this, and I'll actually link to it, but I wanted to string these videos together for the sake of having all the tips together in one video sequence. So the most important thing in shoulder packing is that the shoulder blades are back and down, so we're looking at scapular retraction and sort of depression. Now when we do this, you'll know you're solid when you can find a sweet spot where you can drive through the palm of your hand and elevate. That's what we're looking for. So if you're going to do a get-up, what I recommend is doing several of these bridges. Again, retraction and sort of depression. So you're going to really extend. Bridge up, make sure you're solid. Bridge up, make sure you're solid. Nothing should change in that shoulder complex. Now from there, you're going to take one hand away, and the opposing leg is going to bend. So this would be for left-sided get-up. And then just work on owning this position. Again, nothing changes. Very, very simple. Start with two, own it. Left-sided get-up, own it. The get-up dance. It's not actually a dance, but it's just a really cool sequence on how to practice the initial roll to elbow and then the elbow to the post position. So the first thing you're going to want to focus on is finding a nice sweet spot. For me, it's about 45, 50 degrees or so. Now, what we want to do is find a nice transition where we can roll to the elbow and then come up to the post. Now, when we do that, we want to make sure that our shoulder stays back, and what you're going to do is you're going to point your fingertips behind you, and then as we come back, fingertips are going to be here. So this is about 3 o'clock here. We're going to externally rotate the shoulder so the fingertips are going to go to 12. So boom. And then what you can do is once you get this, you can work on having a nice transition. And this is the get-up dance. Now hopefully you can do this drill without having to, move the hand too much. At first, yes, you're going to have to find that sweet spot and reposition, but once you own it, you're going to be able to roll to the elbow, get up to that post position, and you're going to be able to kind of move that hand back and forth while finding a nice stable position. So when you first learn the get up, one of the tough things to own is the positioning of sort of where to land your knee. And where people get really caught up is when they make the transition from the post position as they bring their legs back into the windmill position. So here's a really simple way that you can find the sweet spot early on. This works most of the time. For some people it may not, but I've used this quite a bit and it really does shorten the learning curve. So I'm going to take a mini band. You don't have to use a mini band, you can use anything, but for a right-sided get up, we're going to place the mini band behind the left PSIS, okay? So right above the butt cheek. Once we place it there, we're going to do our get up. We're going to roll up to the elbow, to the post. Now, this is where people get goofed up. But when you place that band, or you can put a piece of tape or whatever, it gives them a location to land their knee. So if you come on up, sweep underneath, boom. It'll allow you to get that right angle and find a position where you're comfortable, and then you can finish the get up. So you'll see, I'm here, find the sweet spot, you can reposition a little bit, and then you can finish up. Here's another tip on the get up. Now, pretend that I just did a full get up and I'm working my way back down. One of the big things I see is collapsing on the shoulder and shrugging on the way down. So a lot of people do the full get up, they're almost done, then they do this, and they kind of shrug down. Here's a little drill that you can do to prevent that. Once we're here, we're gonna stay solid, and I'm gonna focus on pushing myself away through my forearm. So it's gonna look like this. I'm here, and I'm gonna brace my abdominals just a little bit, and then I'm gonna focus on pushing away. Now as we roll up, come on up. So I'm gonna focus on pushing away. And it's a great way to keep your shoulder packed as you transition from the elbow back down to the start position of the get up.